this week's Cruise Chat. Today we're talking with Beverly, and Beverly is from Regent Seven Seas, and she's going to be talking to us a little bit about what they offer, how they're an incredible all-inclusive brand, and I'm really excited about talking with her today. So over to you, Beverly.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. It's always great to have a chance to talk about my favorite subject, cruising, and especially right now when people are stuck at home and probably starting to get a little stir crazy and possibly looking to learn about new opportunities, places to go in the future when this crazy world opens up again. So I really appreciate having the chance to share some of the things that make Regent Seven Seas unique, special, and different with your clients.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm excited about everything we're going to learn.
Awesome, thanks. Well, I think before we start, there's obviously the big elephant in the room right now. We can't ignore the nasty COVID virus. It is something that has affected cruising probably, or will affect cruising more than most other aspects of the travel industry. Unfortunately, cruising has become the poster child for this virus. I guess because the media loves anything to do with cruising. It's a subject that people are interested in. So obviously we can't deny that this virus has put a stop to cruising overall. But I guess what's important to know is that the cruise lines did voluntarily suspend operations. They were one of the very first industries to do so. So we do take this very, very seriously. But I think to keep it in perspective, there are over 272 ships within the Cruise Lines International Association, and very, very few actually had any outbreaks. So keeping it in perspective, a very small number of people actually were affected. There's about 600,000 cruisers every day on ships around the world. So when you look at it that way, it actually was not disastrous as the media seems to think. So we are still very confident that cruising will come back. It's a vacation that is well loved by so many people. And there's such a huge capital investment in the cruise industry in terms of the number of ships and indeed the growth that's projected. There are a lot of ships that are actually very much still on order. They haven't been canceled. So COVID will not kill cruising. We're confident about that.
Excellent.
So to start with some kind of positive things, as I said, true cruisers love it too much to stop. And although maybe some of the large cruise lines may have a bit more of a challenge initially getting people back just because of the number of people on board, at the end of the day, it is a wonderful experience that people very much want. We see that in our company because more clients have opted to take future cruise credits than they have refunds when we've had to cancel a sailing. And close to half the people who've taken those future cruise credits have actually booked another cruise for 21 or 22. So I would say that's a very, very positive sign that loyal cruisers are certainly looking upon this as a blip, albeit a very inconvenient and serious one. We're going to be able to get back to cruising once the word is, or the market is kind of clear, and there are many different moving parts that will go into deciding when we can go back. But one of the most important factors is the new protocols that are being set up for cruise lines by the CDC in particular. So we're currently working with the CDC very, very closely to come up with this new set of protocols. We're not quite ready with all the details, but I can give you some of them shortly. And our goal is to be an exemplary company. We're not going to deliver what they want and need. We're going to deliver more than that. So that's kind of our goal so that our guests will feel very comfortable. And from an operational perspective, a financial perspective, which has been of concern to a lot of people, how can a cruise line or cruise line sail or continue to operate when right now they have no revenue, they have no guests? So just to share with you something very positive from our financial people that I will get into shortly. So lots of positive things to talk about. But in terms of that financial commitment, you may or may not know that Regent is owned by a group called Norwegian Cruise Holdings. Norwegian Cruise Holdings owns Regent, Oceania, and Regent. So we're a three-part family. We had an infusion of investment of close to $2.5 billion recently, which means that the entire company overall now has $3.5 billion on hand to weather this crisis. We can actually stay afloat, so to speak, for up to 18 months since this began, which is probably unequaled. I think we've been told that we have the most liquidity cushion of any major cruise line. So I think that should make people feel very comfortable about investing, taking future cruise credits. So
absolutely.
So just to talk about those safety and health protocols, because they are paramount in people's minds. And as I said, we don't have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted yet, but we can give you an idea of where we're going to be focusing our energies. Obviously, sanitization and safety is critical to make sure the ships are virus-free. They're going to be evaluated and certified anytime they re-enter service. So once a cruise ends and another one begins, a reevaluation will occur, and it will be a bio-response person that will be doing it. There'll be continuous ship-wide disinfection and daily fogging of all suites and public spaces. There aren't going to be men wandering around in spacesuits. We don't want people to feel uncomfortable. The materials that we're going to use in this fogging process it's a hospital grade oxidant that's natural, safe, and non-toxic. So people don't have to be concerned when we are fogging the suites, the closets, the bathrooms as part of the daily sanitation process. There will be a big investment made in a hospital-grade air filtration system that'll be on all ships. So we are investing heavily in this HEPA 13 program. We're adding a new officer on board each ship, and that will be a dedicated public health officer. So this person will be responsible for oversight of all the sanitation and hygiene protocols on board, the cleanliness, the public areas, sanitation program. They'll work with the ship's medical team on board to ensure everything is as it needs to be. As far as itineraries go, we're always very cognizant of what's happening in the world. One of the beautiful things of vacationing on a cruise is that ships can be moved. And so if anything happens in the world, whether it be a health issue or a political issue, security, safety, we can just change the itinerary. So, of course, we will continue to do that and monitor as we go through an itinerary to make sure we are keeping our guests safe. Obviously, pre-embarkation, there is screening that's going on right now and has been done for a long time, but this will be up to, of course, to include more sort of temperature checks and other things. Mm-hmm. Social distancing will be implemented in the check-in process. The food service on the ship, it will be no touch, so it will be all served. We will keep buffets because people enjoy the variety that a buffet offers and the format, but we will serve the food as opposed to it being self-service.
Right.
The social distancing will be increased in terms of reducing the capacities on the ships. Now, Regent is known for its intimate size to begin with. Not as far as the ship. The ships are actually quite big, but we only have a smaller number of guests. So our smallest ship has 490 people guests, and our largest has 750. So we're already doing what people are looking for. We're offering more space per guest.
So you're getting
more crew.
That's quite high.
But we will also, on top of that, implement even more social distancing, reduce seating in entertainment areas, restaurants. I don't have answers to questions like how many feet apart will we be. Those are sort of things that we're kind of working on. So there's many things we're doing. And of course, the highest standards will be set in place for the staff and crew, because a healthy crew and staff leads to healthy guests, which is so important. So I think you can see that we're well on the way to working with the CDC, and very excited, to announce the next phase when we're ready to do so.
That's great.
So today our goal in chatting, Kathleen, I know we talked about, people are in the phase now where they're getting a bit fed up, starting to go a little squirrely. People who love to travel, it's in their genes, in their blood. They can't stop doing it. And I know we are very much like that ourselves in the industry. So armchair travel is becoming quite popular. So that's kind of what we wanted to do today, is to build some excitement, to create some anticipation, and to help you start dreaming about, the things that are available to you once the world gets back to normal. So, having some conversations about what Regent does that makes us special, perhaps will introduce us to you. whereas in the past you may not have known about us. So that's kind of our goal today, just to give you some ideas, have you understand where we sit in the whole spectrum of cruising, because there are a lot of cruise lines, and then sort of move through there. So that's kind of our plan. I guess the first thing I have to say is that when you look at cruising over the past 20, 30, even 40 years, things are definitely not like they used to be. Many clients say to me, you know, gosh, ships are getting so big. How do they float? I mean, it's quite a phenomenal, isn't it, really, when you look at, you know, a big ship used to be 1,200 people when I first started in the industry. Now, of course, we're looking at 6,000 and 7,000. So this larger ship experience isn't necessarily what a lot of experienced cruisers are looking for. People have been doing it for a while. They've seen the changes. They don't like the larger numbers of people. They feel that it can be impersonal. Because the crew members don't get to know you the way that they do on a more intimate ship. Now, the good thing about the large ship experiences today is actually the prices have come down. Cruising is way more accessible to more people. So you can get on a ship for a lot less money than you used to. But we kind of have joked in the industry that you could end up paying more to get off a ship than you did to get on because of the number of onboard expenses.
Yeah.
So they might attract you with a low price, but you know, you're going to pay at the end. So these are some of the things that have started to irk, perhaps, or concern the more experienced cruisers. So this is where Regent Seven Seas can come into the marketplace. Our goal is to deliver an unrivaled experience for our guests, both on and off the ship. On the ship, we want to take you back to those days when it was all about you. The service was exemplary. The cuisine is just superb. The crew staff knew you by sort of day 2. The waiter knew how you liked your eggs. And these are things people used to come home and talk about when they came off a cruise. So we want to assure you that those experiences still do exist. And then, of course, our primary goal beyond that is to help you to explore the world in the best possible way. So when people ask, what does Regent stand for? What do we deliver in this, you know, cruise vacation market? I'd say number one is the opportunity to explore the world. So giving you the immersive exploration off the ship and deliver that in this most amazing boutique floating hotel setting with incredible service, spacious ships with suites. So definitely that element of luxury is there, incredible cuisine. And we do it in a way that everything you need is included and more, so that you're not having to worry about what your bill's going to be at the end. And of course, being in that 6-star luxury quality, everything we do is done at such a high level. It's all about spoiling you, really. So many people have questions about the inclusions, because that term all-inclusive does get tossed around quite lightly today. But to be honest with you, if there's one thing that people remember about Regent after this session, is that there's no other cruise line on the market that offers as many inclusions as Regent Seven Seas. We start initially with always including an airline ticket. So if you happen to live in the 3 major markets in Canada or close, be it Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, any cruise you purchase will already have your airfare included, which is a real bonus. If it's a domestic cruise such as Alaska, Mexico, Canada, New England, Caribbean, it would be an economy air ticket included. And then if you start to venture intercontinentally, your intercontinental flights would be business class. Okay. So that's quite unusual to know that flying to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, South Pacific, that business class is already in there. Yes. If you book a concierge or higher, we're also going to include a 1-night pre-hotel package. Now, concierge and higher, that's about sort of a third of the way up the ship. And we believe that this is an important inclusion, because beginning your holiday without worry of missing the ship, losing your luggage, also dealing with jet lag, we think it's a luxurious way to begin when you start with a beautiful night in a hotel, a hassle-free breakfast, and you're transferred leisurely away to the ship. Once you get on the ship, the suites are extremely luxurious. So there is no such thing as a cabin on Regent. You won't even see the word cabin written anywhere. They're all suites. And once you get to the penthouses, we even throw a butler into the mix as well. All the beverages are included, be it premium wine, spirits, non-alcoholic drinks such as pop, smoothies, milkshakes, specialty coffees. Gourmet dining. Sorry?
Are those just dinner or all the time?
All the time.
All the
100% of the time. Again, this is all about taking the stress away from your vacation. You don't have to buy extra packages. It's all there and it's premium quality. So the wine that we would include would probably sell for $60 to $80 a bottle on other cruise lines. Mm-hmm. And it is unlimited. We do have a higher end, what we call a connoisseur list. If people enjoy $300-400 bottles of wine, we have those on board. Obviously, we can't include those, but most guests are very happy with the included list for sure. Mm-hmm. The specialty dining is all included. The idea is that you don't have to worry about paying for anything extra. So whether you decide to dine in the beautiful main dining room or in a specialty restaurant, there will be no additional charges at all. 24-hour in-suite dining is included. The Wi-Fi is included. Gratuities are always included, and so are the taxes. And I think one of the most important inclusions, especially when we're talking about giving you immersive exploration, is the fact that we include extensive selections or shore excursions in each port. So I think you can see, unlike other ships where you end up with a nasty bill at the end of your cruise, or they're trying to sell you packages the whole time, this is not going to happen on Regent. You're, in fact, it's quite possible to sail an entire world cruise on Regent 120 nights and not have a bill at the end, which I think is quite extraordinary.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It really is. It takes away the stress. So I just want to go back to the inclusion of the shore excursions, because I think that is really where people will appreciate the value, knowing that if you've cruised before and you've ventured to Alaska or Europe perhaps, you're used to getting a pretty hefty bill at the end. Or perhaps choosing not to do tours because you're feeling that you can't afford it.
Right. And then
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Then you're missing out. You're missing out on the immersion of the area.
Well, you are, and as I said before, really that's why people are cruising with us. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's the odd person who comes just to stay on the ship, but you're traveling to see the world. So why shouldn't we include your shore experiences? So if your clients look, or if you look at any map, any brochure on the website, you'll see that every itinerary has a number associated with it. In this case, we're looking at a 10-night Mediterranean cruise, which has up to 52 free excursions. Now, you can do as many of those 52 as you can cram into your cruise. So there's no limit as far as we're concerned. It's all about time and energy. Some of the ports have half-day tours. Some have, it could be an evening experience if it's overnight. So it's really up to you. And these tours that we include would probably sell for up to around $200 US a person on other cruise line. Mm-hmm. So you can see the value that this brings to the table. Now, obviously, there's some charge for these included in the cruise fare, but because of the volume that we do with the tour companies, they do provide us with some extraordinary value, which allows us to pass that on to the guests. And so you can start reserving these tours online as early as 8 months before departure. If you book a concierge level or higher, that's one of the privileges of concierge. In addition to us flying you in the night before the cruise starts, you can also have first dibs on the included shore excursions. If you book a deluxe suite, then you have to wait till 6 months before, but that's still, a significant time in advance.
Yeah.
So again, the free excursions that we include, they're very high quality. Just because they're included does not mean that they're not robust, and they really are. We want to deliver people the things that they will want to do in these ports. For example, there's no way you're going to St. Petersburg and not going to Catherine's Palace or the Hermitage. Those are going to be included. So very, very high quality and a great variety of tours as well. It's not just your basic museum and panoramic motor coach tour. There's a lot of variety. And then there's a secondary level of tours that we call Regent Choice. Now, Regent Choice are perhaps limited in capacity. They could be small group, very small group tours, such as 16 people max. It could be things that are just more culturally focused that would sell for a lot more money. For example, in St. Petersburg, there's a wonderful experience that I do recommend. It's called the Grand Imperial Evening of the Tsars. And what happens is Catherine's Palace is opened up for us at night, and they have people dressed in period costume to greet you. The palace is illuminated at night, which is extraordinary. They have a period costume usually a quartet playing as you arrive at the palace. You enter and you're treated to a tour of some of the rooms, the museum area. You end in the ballroom where the Tsar and the Tsarina greet you, a glass of champagne. There is an exhibition of dancing, and then you're taken for a beautiful dinner and more music. And this experience with other cruise lines would cost around $349 US a person. Mm-hmm. But on Regent, we're able to subsidize that. So although we have all the free ones, there are these extra special ones that you could elect to pay a little bit more for if you wanted, but you'll never pay full price. You always get the benefit of the special deals that we get. So that's another way you can enhance your experience.
That's awesome.
Every year we try to dig deeper to give people that unrivaled experience ashore. So last year we introduced a couple of other types of tours. The previous year we introduced wellness tours, gourmet tours. Last year it was the small group excursions and the Go Local. Now, Go Local could be something as interesting as spending the afternoon with a family, going grocery shopping with the mother, having dinner with the family, preparing it, or it could be spending the afternoon with the oldest family of cheesemakers on the island of Crete. So there's so many different levels, but what it does is it allows you a much more colloquial experience. So perhaps a guest has visited a port before, but is looking to do something a little different. So we're able to give you all these different types of experiences. Many of them are free, and some there would be an extra charge. The good news also last year, we were able to introduce the opportunity to use a shipboard credit, which is usually a promotional bonus that we give to our valued agencies such as TPI Travel, Virtuoso, where you could have anywhere from $125 a person to $500 a person to spend on board the ship. Well, because we're inclusive, people often say, well, gee, I don't know what to spend it on. Of course, it's always the spa and the gift shop, but I think what we decided was we would allow people to use these credits to upgrade some of the tours. So now, if you have several $100s in shipboard credit, you could purchase one of those special Regent Choice tours. You could even use it to engage a private car and drive on a port, or maybe do one of our culinary arts classes on two of our ships. So we're always trying to look for ways to enhance the experience. So that kind of gives you an overview of the inclusivity and how we approach it. Again, keep in mind the quality of those inclusions because it is a luxury experience. Mm-hmm. As far as the hotel environment or the ship environment, as I said, we really see ourselves as a luxury floating boutique hotel company. Our smallest one, I mentioned earlier, 490 guests, the Navigator, very much like a little floating country club. She's delightful. She is our oldest ship. She's been around since the late 90s, but of course has been refurbished. And because of her size, her intimacy, she has a feeling on her like no other. Many of our guests claim she's their favorite. A lot of the crew members have worked on her for many years, and it just has the feeling of coming home. It's a delightful ship. Our two slightly bigger ones, the Voyager and Mariner, 700 guests each, quite a bit bigger than the original Navigator. So they have more restaurants and more public areas, but again, still all suites, very spacious, and have been recently, refurbished. Our newest ship until recently was the Seven Seas Explorer. She actually came out in 2016 and has been winning awards for the world's most luxurious ship and best ship ever since then. She set a new standard in cruising. In fact, she was so popular when she came out, we very quickly ordered a sister ship. So we do have this incredibly luxurious fleet. And recently we added the Seven Seas Splendor. She joined us back in February. And which is a shame, really, that she arrived just at the beginning of the pandemic. So the poor ship, she literally had 2 cruises, and then she had to stop. So it was this vessel is going to be brand new 8 months from now. So she's extraordinary. Although she is like the Explorer, she has a style that's slightly different. Her decor is slightly different. And very quickly won a lot of accolades, even in those short couple of sort of cruises that she did. Her design is very feminine, a lot of creams and golds, these beautiful chandeliers. This is the main atrium. You come down the stairs toward the gallery, toward the main dining room. Our public areas are multiple. I mean, there's always a place you can go to have a drink, to read a book, to find a quiet corner, even though she has 750 guests. You can see her design style is kind of an Art Deco classic combined. Her main dining room, Compass Rose, operates on, sorry, I've got a bit of a croak here. I'm just going to have a little sip. Her main dining room operates on an open seating basis from about 6:30 to 9:30, and you can join, excuse me, you can join, you don't have to join other people. There's lots of tables. Prime 7 is the iconic steakhouse that you'll find on every single one of our ships. We're very proud of Prime 7 Specialty Restaurant. It has won the best steakhouse at sea on many occasions, and our guests rave about it. On the larger ships, we also have the French restaurant Chartreuse, which is a wonderful upscale Parisian bistro. And then on the two larger, we have a third specialty restaurant, Pacific Rim, that has extraordinary sculpture outside. It's become quite a popular sort of selfie spot for our guests. An extraordinary menu also. So the three specialty restaurants are included, as I said. You can reserve in each one before you go one time. And then once on the ship, you can go as many times as you like, provided there's space. And again, no additional charge. There are more casual dining areas. La Veranda, which is our buffet, which, as I mentioned, will be served. At night, we actually set these tables outside. It becomes an Italian restaurant, Sette Mari, which is wonderful. You're dining outside in the evening, watching the sun go down, or watching the lights come up in places like Monte Carlo. It's really it's like having your own private yacht club experience. The suites on our ships range in size. The two newest ships have an extraordinary suite called the Regent Suite. Mm-hmm. This is actually over 4,400 square feet, including the balconies, which is larger than a lot of people's homes, I realize. But if you do happen to like to travel in this kind of style, this suite will give you an extraordinary experience. Mm-hmm. The other suites, as we come down in size, will range anywhere from about 2,000 square feet to 1,200, down to 800 to 400. It just depends. We have accommodation in every sort of style and size, but the majority of our suites and our clients are very happy to stay in what we call a superior or a concierge or deluxe. I love the superior and concierge because the bed faces the ocean, so when you wake up in the morning, you're actually looking through your little living room over the balcony onto the ocean. Now, this sort of wall behind the bed is actually the walk-in closet. So when you tuck around there, you're actually in a room. You can imagine almost all our suites have walk-in closets, which is amazing. And then an extraordinary bathroom. So very popular are the concierge and superior. You can see why we've also won the Best Bathrooms at Sea award. This is the superior concierge on the newer ships with 2 sinks, marble, rain shower, and of course a deep soaker tub. So these new ships have really created a lot of pride within our company, and especially the Splendor. So I thought I might share with you just a little tribute that the crew have made to this new ship, the Seven Seas Splendor, and I think you can tell the pride that they feel in being part of our family as we launched her. Yeah.
My name is Frank Galzi. I'm the general manager.
Sushan Naik. I'm Justin Reyes.
My name is Maria Tancredi, and I'm the restaurant manager here on Regent Seven Seas. I'm a specialty waitress.
Sous chef, second officer, navigation.
I'm assistant cruise director on board. I've worked with Regent now for 8 years.
3.5 years.
10 years.
15 years.
I've been with Regent Seven Seas Cruises since the year 2000.
When it's a new build and you're actually starting everything from scratch, it's something that is challenging, but is also something that is very special. And it's very exciting to see all the pieces coming together.
It gives you that feeling in your stomach because you're part of something new, part of something big, part of something exciting.
There's hundreds and hundreds of Regent crew pulling together and making the magic happen. It's simply breathtaking. day after day you can see the changes and how the ship is transforming from being just a piece of metal into a beautiful lady that will be ready to cross the ocean and going around the world.
Everything is stepped up another level. It's luxury perfected.
The attention to detail that we have here is second to none within the cruising industry.
You find something amazing in every corner of this ship.
Splendor will be a new standard in the luxury cruise market, and our guests are going to appreciate the new luxury while discovering their new home away from home. When they will come on board, they will say, wow, they might have a little tear of excitement.
They will also get to know and see how happy the crew are going to be, how proud of our ship the crew are going to be.
To have this honor, to do this for everybody who's coming, we're part of the heart of the ship, and you can feel it, and you can feel it coming together.
Regent is a fantastic family for our guests.
It's an amazing experience to be part of the Splendor team, working with professional chefs. They've all been selected to be part of the Splendor.
We are all his family, and also we are teamwork to provide everything to guests.
Working with Captain Serena, she's a fabulous leader. She's an example, not only as a captain, but also as a person.
I'm looking forward to work with Captain Serena to sail the world.
I'm so proud to work together with Captain Serena.
Not only she's a true lady, she's Italian, like me. So what is there not to be proud about?
We can always say that she's one of the best.
The Seven Seas Splendor is a very elegant ship. It's very fine balance between simplicity and being sophisticated. We again push the bar, and that will amaze our guests. I'm very proud and I'm very honored that the company chose me. It's a unique experience in the lifetime of every captain.
Seven Seas Splendor, welcome to the Regent family.
Captain Melanie and Seven Seas Splendor crew, welcome on board.
I would like to wish to Captain Melanie and to the Splendor crew fair winds and calm seas on their maiden voyage.
Congratulations from your sister ship, the Seven Seas Explorer.
Welcome.
Seven Seas Splendor.
Welcome, 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 Seven Seas Splendor.
Welcome, Regent Seven Seas Splendor.
To the family.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family.
Splendor, welcome to our Regent family.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome, the Seven Seas Splendor, to the Regent family.
I think you really do get a sense of the pride that our company has in all our fleet. There's a familial atmosphere at our company. Our guests feel it. They feel like family. They feel like they come home when they come on all our ships, and it keeps them coming back. So, you know, we have to say it's not that we have just the most luxurious ship ever built. It's really the most luxurious fleet. It's really quite an extraordinary group of vessels. So, and as a further nod to these incredible ships, Condé Nast has just named us to their hot list. So we're soliciting votes so we can hopefully win the top new cruise ship in the world, which is the Seven Seas Splendor. It's awesome that we've been nominated. And her sister ship, the Explorer, has been nominated for the top itinerary for her Fjords of Iceland itinerary. So if you are Condé Nast readers and you'd like to join the Reader's Choice poll, we'd always appreciate the nod. Thank you. No matter what ship you're on, I've talked a lot about, you know, the new ones, but all of our ships offer beautiful suites, luxurious linens, all the amenities you'd expect. Most of them have walk-in closets, the replenished minibar, complimentary on-demand movies, champagne upon arrival, butler suites and penthouses and higher, and so forth. So whether it's our smallest, oldest ship, or whether it's one of the medium size or larger, the accommodations are all really, really beautiful. I thought I'd show you one of what we consider our lead-in, or our sort of what are called deluxe veranda suite. This is approximately 356 square feet with the balcony. What you're not seeing is the vanity area, which is such a plus, I think, in the design of our suites, as a place for ladies to do their hair and makeup without using the bathroom. Then, of course, you have your walk-in closet, plus you have your large bathroom. So these are very, very comfortable and probably equate size-wise perhaps to a mini suite that you might have had on another cruise line. So this is kind of where we start.
It's really close to the king suite. So that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. It's really nice. It's a good size.
Very comfortable. So good place to be. So on all our ships, you have something similar to this, and then you kind of go up from there. No matter which, though, we're known for our very spacious balconies. It's one of our trademarks, and of course those high quality furnishings, those beautiful seats that recline, tables that are set. If you order room service, for example, and you wish to dine on your balcony, the gentleman from In-Suite Dining will come and set your tables with linen and china. So it really does feel like a dining experience as opposed to room service. Again, no matter which ship you're on, the dining choices are tremendous. There may be slightly fewer number of specialty restaurants depending on the ship, either Prime 7 and French, or the third one, Pacific Rim as well. But either way, as I mentioned earlier, they are complimentary. Reserve once before you travel, and then from there on in, if there's availability, you're welcome to go. Clients are often surprised when I tell them about the entertainment options that are available on Regent. When you have a smaller ship, I think the expectation is that you have to sacrifice some things. Well, you don't on Regent, and that's why people transitioning to us love it, because they still get the casino, they still get the production shows, they still have a piano bar, and we do all the fun entertainment themes that other ships do. We have a Beatles night, an Elvis night, all kinds of things. So there's no compromise or sacrifice that has to be made on the entertainment front. All ships have a 2-story show lounge, which is quite surprising.
That's great.
And enrichment programming is really robust, depending on the season. It can be anything from, wine, chocolate, champagne, Broadway, PBS, bridge playing, all kinds of different themes that can come into play. So if you are interested in special interest cruising or spotlights, you let us know. We can send you some information on that. One of the fun enrichment programs that we have now, ever since we've introduced the 2 new ships, is the Culinary Arts Center. So if you fancy yourself a foodie, or you just like to learn, increase your skills in the culinary sphere, you can join our Culinary Arts program. There's a small fee for this. It's $89 US per person. We do that because there are only 18 places at any given workshop. During the social distancing mandate, I would imagine this could be a place where you might see us limit the participation perhaps to half, so we can leave a space free between every cook. You do have your own cook station, and these classes are really very well attended and very fun, and you can use your shipboard credits to pay for them, which is even more fun.
Yeah, they look like they'd be fun.
Yeah, it really is a lot of fun. And if you're traveling with a group, that's another nice thing to do together.
Right, yeah.
Enjoyable, yeah. In terms of who sails with Regent, we do attract a 55 plus crowd, typically that age group, because I think by the time we reach that stage in our life, we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor a little bit. Hopefully the kids are either on their way out or gone, and you're an empty nester, and you can now start to enjoy the world in the nice quality. Gone are the days where you want to backpack across Europe. I think we want to see the world in rose-colored glasses and wonderful food and wine and beautiful accommodation. It's also nice to travel with like-minded people with whom you have something in common, being at a similar stage in life. We do attract some pretty interesting people, regular folks, as well as movie producers or entertainment lawyers or former ballerinas. I've met lots of different people on Regent. It makes for some really wonderful cocktail conversation. There's a commonality in that they all appreciate the value that we offer and the quality, and they like the fact that they're not a number in a crowd. It's a very service-oriented environment, and they know what they want, and they enjoy the high-touch sort of service. Most of our guests have cruised a few times before they come to us, although it's not necessarily critical. Maybe you saved a cruise for later in your life where you wanted to celebrate with a special experience. Maybe it's a 25th anniversary or a 50th, 60th birthday. There's nothing wrong with starting with Regent, believe me, because many people in our age group perhaps don't want to sail with thousands of folks. So do start with Regent if you are a first-time cruiser. The other thing our guests love is the informal kind of dress code, elegant casual, which really means that after 6 p.m., we ask for no jeans, shorts, or sneakers in the public areas. Gentlemen, you do not have to bring a tie at all on Regent. You don't even have to bring a jacket, although I might recommend you bring a blazer. I see a lot of the gentlemen pop a blazer on during the evening, especially if they're going to the nice specialty restaurants. Ladies, a nice pantsuit, nice dress, skirt and top, perfectly acceptable. And on our longer cruises, 16 nights or more, we do offer a formal night, but even that is optional. I think when we talk about a luxury vacation experience, people perhaps have kind of preconceived notions about the word luxury, that it could mean it's going to be stuffy and cliquey and formal. So please don't think that, because on Regent, we're known to have a very, very warm and friendly atmosphere. I call it upscale, but not uptight. The quality's there, but it doesn't mean to say we can't have fun. So the interaction with the crew and staff, with our guests, is definitely part of that warm experience. And we do a lot of fun things on board, too, to foster friendships. One of our most famous activities has become quite legendary in the Regent world. It's called the Neighborhood Block Party. And I'm sure that all of you have been to a block party at some point in your life. Basically, instead of holding a cocktail party in a fancy show lounge, our captain and cruise director hold a party in the corridors very early on in the cruise. So it's kind of an icebreaker. So what will happen is about 6 p.m., the cruise director will make an announcement and say, this is the beginning of our neighborhood block party. Everybody open your suite doors, come out in the corridor with an empty glass. And lo and behold, you find waiters pouring drinks and passing hors d'oeuvres. So in this way, you get to meet the people in your area, in your neighborhood. And if you're lucky, the doors will still be open and you'll be able to poke your nose in and see what their suite looks like. Maybe find another type of accommodation that you'd like next time that you travel.
Yeah, that would be perfect, just to see what others have and what you might
Absolutely.
have. Awesome.
You might get invited into a suite for a party another night if you're lucky.
Even better.
And then to kind of top it off, so the captain and the officers get to meet everybody, they actually put their sneakers on. They're allowed to wear sneakers after 6, and they run every single deck to meet all the guests. In fact, this if you look at the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see that lady, she hadn't opened her door at 6 o'clock. So the captain noticed that. So he went and banged on it to meet her. So you can't escape the neighborhood block party.
That's right.
Better be ready. It's an awful lot of fun. And as I said, it's become kind of legendary with We've talked a lot about the ships and how beautiful they are today. But at the end of the day, a cruise line is nothing if you don't have the right people looking after your guests. So even though our hardware is beautiful, our ships, the software, our people are the most important. So we're very proud of the folks who work for us. We've got people who've worked for us for many, many years, and they are part of the Regent family, and they're the ones that look after our guests to make them come back year after year. We cruise the world. We are not a river cruise company. Sometimes people assume we might be because we're smaller, but no, we are an ocean-going company. The only river that we can sail up would be the Amazon because it is so wide and deep. Apart from that, we are ocean only. Cruises starting from 7 nights in length up to 120 nights. So whether it be a short Alaska cruise or Mediterranean cruise, all the way up to world cruises, we pretty much have everything for everybody. When you start looking at the prices and promotions that Regent offers, you will probably notice right away that our prices look a lot higher than the other cruises you may have done before. There is a reason for that. It is because we are so inclusive. If you remember our discussion at the beginning, our goal is to have everything up front so you don't have to worry about any extra fees. But this does really sometimes mislead people a bit because they then think that we're out of their price bracket. What I want to do is show you a comparison, and I know that Kathleen will be posting these kind of charts for you. They're also available in hard copy and soft copy from Regent. Okay. We've taken here a 12-night Mediterranean cruise on Regent on the new ship, the Splendor, and we're going to compare to an average of 3 other cruise lines that are also very well known and very good. They're in what we call the premium quality category. Premium cruises are companies such as Princess, Holland America, Celebrity, companies that do a very good job, very good quality cruising, but not at that luxury level. So on average, for a similar itinerary, they're charging around $5,700 US a person, whereas Regent is charging about $12,500. So obviously a big difference. What you've got to realize is that initial quote that they give you, first of all, does not usually include your airfare. So you have to get to the ship, first of all. Whereas on Regent, we are going to include your air. Now, in this case, it's a Europe cruise, so it's going to be business class. So if you were going to add business class to theirs, you'd be adding around $4,700. Then once you get on the ship, of course, there's the shore excursions. Traveling in Europe, you know you're going to spend a lot on those because you are there to explore the culture and history. So you're going to add at least another $1,000 per person to the other cruise lines. The Wi-Fi would be included on Regent, not with them. The gratuities, we include. Service charges, they usually don't. The high-quality bar drinks, non-alcoholic beverages, wine, spirits are going to be included with us, but not with them. The alternative dining, the transfers, the government fees and taxes. I think what you can see when you look at all those different features, the total cruise fare at the end on the Regent cruise is going to be exactly the same as you would have been quoted initially, $12,499. If you look on the right, the price that you will end up paying on the other cruise lines on average is going to actually exceed what you would have paid on Regent. Now, this is a US dollar comparison. We could convert it into Canadian. It would be the same. It's just a matter of, adding the exchange. The idea is it's the exercise. I wanted to introduce the concept of value versus price, because that really is what we are talking about. And what you may find is that all along, it's possible you could have been cruising on Regent and spending about the same or not much more than cruises that are not quite of the same quality. It's very interesting to look at. So do think about value versus price when you're looking at some of the Regent offers or itineraries or brochures. Now, our brochures are printed in US, but you can purchase any Regent cruise in Canadian dollars. We do review our exchange rates every few months. And of course, the exchange right now is a bit higher than it was because our dollar is weak during this COVID period. Where I get really excited is when we offer Canadian par sailings, because those are way better. Obviously, with our exchange being just around the 40% mark right now, this represents a significant savings for us. So every quarter, so every few months, we review itineraries and we come out with a new list of Canadian at par cruises. So the current list we have has a book by date of June 30th. And on it, there are many, many departures for this year, which at this point are probably not going to happen, as you understand. But there are some cruises into early next year. On July 1st, we will have a new list. And I'm hoping that on that list, we'll have cruises well into 2021, including some Europe and Alaska. So definitely something to look at. But if you are thinking ahead, maybe you'd like to try our brand new ship, but you want to wait till next year, we do have a Canadian at par offer on the January 4 departure. It's a 10-night sailing, round trip Miami. So you could drive if you don't want to fly, or if you happen to be in Florida during the winter months, you could hop on the ship there. Right now, this price of $58.99 Canadian does include your return airfare in economy from Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. Canadian at par gives it a really good value for us, and unique itinerary too, I think. So
yeah, that's beautiful.
And I think really, if you have been visiting a lot of the more upscale all-inclusives in the Caribbean, but you're ready for change, I think you'll find that the pricing on this compares very favorably, especially when you consider the quality of the dining and the wine that you get and the accommodation. So this could be a way of shaking up the way you visit the Caribbean.
And you get to see so much more than you wouldn't see just sitting out of sandals. So this is something
absolutely you do, for sure. Just back to the new ship. These two sailings aren't Canadian at par, but I did want to point them out because they are selling like hotcakes. Being that we've had to cancel a lot of the cruises this year, people who wanted to sail on here are just shifting their bookings to next year. So we are seeing very high demand, especially on these two. London to Barcelona sailing in September 2021. People love this because it gives you France, it gives you Spain as well as Portugal, and you get an overnight in Bordeaux, which gives you the wine sort of opportunity. And then the Barcelona-Venice cruise in October, because it combines the Adriatic along with a lot of the classic ports. also selling extremely well. So I'm not thinking we'll get these on par, but if you're wanting to go on this new ship and do these itineraries, it would be good to book now. And of course, business class would be included. There's a Canadian at Par offer on a beautiful little Tahiti cruise in January, which I think we'll all be looking to get away by then. So this could be something to look at. Again, this would be business class from Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. We'd probably fly you through Los Angeles. Your initial flight would be economy, and then you'd pick up on the business class for the intercontinental portion. So this is another opportunity. And then South America, if you're feeling adventurous, next February, Lima to Buenos Aires, a very popular cruise for those working on their bucket lists, and the chance to add on a Machu Picchu pre or post is also available. So there's lots of different opportunities, but again, I think July 1st is going to see a much more robust list that Kathleen will be able to share with you.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons our past guests are anxiously booking for the future now is we've tried to make things more comfortable for people booking travel. One of the things we're doing is reducing deposits. If you book by July 31, you only have to pay 50% of the normal deposit on most of the categories. So this means you're not putting out money. Some people have funds tied up, perhaps with other travel experiences that they're waiting for refunds on. So 50% deposit is going to help. We're also offering $1,000 per suite shipboard credit, that's US, and that will be something that you could use to upgrade to those very special shore experiences that we talked about. And then I think probably the most attractive feature is our Regent Reassurance, which will allow you to pay in full for your new cruise sailing in 21 or 22. You pay in full, and at that point, you will be able to cancel for any reason up until 15 days prior to travel. So that will give you some peace of mind if you are concerned about vaccines, insurances, health, whatever is happening in the world, even a year from now. At least you can sort of buy yourself the option to go, because small ships do fill more quickly than large ones. It's kind of putting a place marker on a cruise, knowing that you can get 100% future cruise credit if you do indeed cancel. So in addition, there are many other treats that TPI can bring to you. Virtuoso is an organization that TPI belongs to, a group of luxury agencies. And Regent offers even more benefits to those who travel on their special Virtuoso voyages, whether it's special cocktail parties, hosts on board, or one of those very special shore experiences. I think at this point, I will thank you for listening to me today. I have really enjoyed sharing some of the reasons that I think Regent is special, and I know our guests do agree based on the number of repeat passengers that we do get on our cruise line. It is about value, not price, and I think that this quote by Benjamin Franklin probably sums it up best. I don't think I need to say anymore. The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. One of the best things he ever said, I'm sure. So on that basis, I would like to thank you all. And I'd very much like to thank Kathleen of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, TPI. It's been a pleasure. Should you have questions, please feel free to ask Kathleen. And if she can't answer them, she'll get hold of me. We'd be happy to provide you with whatever information you need. And in the meantime, I hope you all stay well and happy and enjoy armchair travel for the next little while. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. We really appreciate that, and for showing us this great brand. And I love how much is included in the fare. So thank you for highlighting that, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this week's cruise chat with Beverly from Regent Cruise Lines. Next week we're going to be talking with Avalon Cruises, and Avalon is a river cruise line that is really, really neat in that they don't have French balconies. They don't have the regular balconies where you step out. They have doors that open up wide, so your entire room becomes an open air balcony. It's really, really neat. It's a kind of an exciting way to travel through Europe. So feel free to join next week to see what that is. All videos should be up Thursday around 11 o'clock, hopefully. But remember to like and subscribe to get notification right away. Thank you, everybody. Bye.